Alright, so this is one of my favorite games from my childhood. I played it non-stop when I first got it, and I've played it through at least once a year since then. The name of the game is Bill and Ted's Excellent Video Game Adventure for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game is based on the excellent movie of the same name, and who wouldn't want to play a game based on an awesome movie? I know I would. The story of this game is kind of a continuation of the movie. Bill and Ted have to fight some time rebels who have stolen historical figures. It's kinda complicated, so I won't explain the whole thing. The game begins with George Carlin telling Ted to do something and explaining how the game works. You use coins to travel through the circuits of time, and to keep yourself from going to jail once you reach your destination. You dial numbers from a phone book to travel to different times. One reason this game is so great is that it challenges you to remember numbers. If you dial the wrong number, you have to try again. This is just one of the many teaching elements that the game secretly hides in a pretty colorful package. After you dial the right number, you get to play a minigame that is so good it could be a game all by itself. You go through the circuits of time and try to skip the numbers so you do not get charged a coin. Beware of the skulls, for they take away a coin and send you in a random direction. Wow! It's as great as the first time I played it. Once you pass the circuits of time, you reach one of the time periods. The goal here is to find clues, to find historical figures trapped in the wrong time. You also use bait to lure each historical figure, and some of the items are hilarious. For example, you give George Washington a pair of choppers. Get it? And Elvis a headstone. Hilarious if you know your history, which is just another great learning aspect of this game. The controls are dead on. You press a button to jump, and you can move with the control pad. This is very ingenious for its time. Now you may take this for granted now, but most games use the opposite control scheme. This is one of the few games that utilizes this, and it took a while for it to catch on. So you go around talking to people to get clues and get items. Be careful though, because if you bump into somebody, they will take a coin away from you. And if you run into someone who is running, they send you to jail. This game has a lot of realism intertwined into the gameplay, which makes it that much more of an experience. If you run into a jogger in real life, you go to jail. If you run out of coins, it is game over, and if you use up all your skeleton keys in jail, you also lose the game. But there are ways to prevent this. The game gives you different items that help you avoid getting tossed in jail. The first item the game gives you is a cup of pudding. And when you throw it on the ground, it causes everybody on screen to go towards it. I know pudding has that effect on me. The next item the game gives you are firecrackers, which scare everyone off the screen. I mean, they are scary. It throws in this kind of survival horror aspect, which is also way before its time. Next, there is a dangerous textbook that kills all the people on screen. I kind of think this item is not fair since murder is wrong. The last item the game gives you is one of my favorites, and that's the cassette tape. When you throw this item, it makes everybody dance. And it's nice to dance every once in a while. There are two other minigames besides the Circuit of Time. One of those is riding a horse. Now, not very many people get to ride horses, so I'm glad they included this gameplay element. Also, there's a canoe ride, which is even more fun than it looks. If you complete the course without hitting anything, you get coins. Now, the graphics in this game are incredible for the NES, and I would say even incredible for the Super Nintendo. I like the 3D look of this game and how they went in a different direction. Instead of going straight up to move, you go up and to the right. Very creative, and I think it works very well. The sound is also wonderful. Each song resembles the time period that you're in. The creators did their homework to find historical accuracy in every point of this game. Now, the only downside is you only get to hear the track once unless you end up going to jail. They probably did this because too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Well, that wraps up this review. So, what are my recommendations for this game? Well, on my scale of buy it, rent it, try it, and avoid it, I'll have to give this game a buy it rating. I mean, hunt this game down on eBay. If you can and play it through, you will not be disappointed. Buy it! I mean, go ahead and buy it. Now, it is a collector's item, so it's kind of pricey. It'll run you about $1.25, but it is worth it.